Hello, I'm Wendy Wilson, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Realizing Potential. Today, I have with me in my virtual studio two of my esteemed colleagues at Albany State University, and they represent the creative arts. One is none other than Dr. Elizabeth Delancey, and the other is Mr. Ta'Varis Wilson. How are you both today?
Really well. Thank you. Thank you for
Good.
having us.
Doing well. Thank you so much for having us today.
Oh, it is my pleasure. It is my pleasure. Mr. Ta'Varis, since we're going to start with you, just switch it up a little bit. Would you share with the viewers a little bit about yourself in terms of your background and what you do so well here at Albany State University?
Of course, of course. Again, my name is Ta'Varis Wilson. I am a native of Augusta, Georgia. I am a 2013 graduate of the unsinkable Albany State University. And I serve now as the Director of Theater in the Department of Arts and Humanities.
Outstanding, outstanding. 2013 seems like yesterday.
It does. It's coming on 10 years this year.
Yeah, you've transitioned very nicely, graduate to now employee. Yeah. Thank you so much. And we're so excited about and happy about your presence here, your continued presence here at Albany State. Dr. Elizabeth Delancey, dare we tell them partners in crime? Should we tell the world?
Yes, we can go ahead and tell them. I don't think it's a secret at this point.
I know.
Yes.
Dr. Delancy and I go way back from Darton days, and just a really dear friend. I think everybody does know that. But share with the viewers who may not be familiar with you what you do so well here for Albany State University.
Yes, I'm the program coordinator of dance and an associate professor of dance. Also teach literature, and I work on a few grants concerning public health.
So those are all those hats stacked in the back. How many hats we see. Good. Well, it's a pleasure having you, certainly, Dr. Delancey, on the show. You've been on numerous times. I've lost count, but you're a very welcome and familiar face. Mr. Wilson, I think we've had you on one other time, and we'll have to work on that and increase the frequency of that. But what I'm so excited about is you all are here to share with the viewers about this collaboration and upcoming production. And so please take it away, either both of you all. What's on the horizon? What can we expect during the month of April that has everybody buzzing and super excited about?
Yes, I guess I'll go ahead and start. So I am directing at Albany State University, The Color Purple, the musical. This is actually the Southwest Georgia debut of this musical, and it will be at Albany State University. I have a long-standing love for The Color Purple. I remember reading the book when I was younger. I saw the original Broadway production in New York. I saw the revival Broadway production. I saw one of our alum, Mr. Amar Atkins. He was in the revival tour of The Color Purple, the musical. And I just completed a production where I was actually cast in The Color Purple at the Springer Opera House this past summer of June 2022. So I am color purple everything. And I'm so happy to bring that to Albany State University and to this community so they can experience this particular production. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. So I know the age of the book probably, I'm sure, predates your age. I remember, the buzz certainly around the book, and then when the adaptation of it occurred in film, and it just it impacted the arts in a very huge way, certainly because of the colorful characters in the book, and then also certainly on screen. And so it has now evolved, and now you are responsible for the actual musical production. And what has that been like? And why the decision to do the musical adaptation?
That particular that has been a journey. I will say it has definitely been a journey. And it kind of mimics Ceely's journey if we kind of look at it.
Okay.
Just some of the different things as we go through some of the different things we go through as people. We kind of found that in our rehearsal process, the ups and downs, the highs and the lows, and we are at the highest point right now, and we are trucking along, we are getting it done. The music is so catchy. I am singing it all day, every day. My students are singing it in class. they are singing it in the hallways. I have staff who are also singing it. They're sending me voice memos. They're asking about blocking. What does my costume look like? What is, can you help me with this dance step? It is so refreshing to see that we can pull from different parts of the campus community. And also, we have one alumnus in the show as well, and the community at large, to make this a great opportunity. And it's been awesome. It has been awesome thus far.
That's great. That's great. I'm going to leave her nameless. I was with a colleague of ours for an early dinner yesterday, and she said it has been one of the most demanding, in a very positive way, experiences of my life. She says, actually, when I feel like I'm pledging sorority all over again. And she meant because of the demanding schedule and the energy that is required. But she certainly, also emphasized throughout that statement that she is having the time of her life and just being among the students and drawing from their energy, and was also very complimentary of the two producers, and referring to both of you, Mr. Wilson and Dr. Delancey, and your active involvement. Dr. Delancey, so we know you are just a force when it comes to dance. And so now you have joined forces with Mr. Wilson. Tell us a little bit about your thought and your role in terms of bringing the dance component of the arts to this amazing production.
Well, let me tell you, when Mr. Wilson was talking about the idea of doing a musical, that thrilled me, because I love the idea of collaboration. And Ta'Varis and I work together all the time. And, we do recruitment things. We're always thinking on the fly. And one thing that I really love about working with him, and this is something that I say, I love to work with people who can meet me in the air. It's like your idea may not even be fully formed, and they're finishing and like, oh yeah, and we can do, and we have that kind of synergy. And so I was thrilled, and I have a deep affection for this work. And then also the community that Alice Walker is from. We have a relationship with Eatonton and Putnam County. And so it's really exciting that some of the students and an Alice Walker Scholar may be in the audience on Friday or Saturday. And so, for this to be the debut in this region, and to have people who are connected to that soil participate as audience members, is really tremendous. I, of course, am doing the choreography in accompaniment with Mr. Wilson's blocking and staging, and then also, with the costumes. We had our mainstay, Miss Young, who normally does costumes. She just wasn't able to because of her political, activities, and so it's been a real thrill. I usually, of course, do costumes, as we both do, for our productions, but to do that and to wear that hat, and of course, with support of Mr. Wilson, and we really have become executive producers for this, because, the timing that it takes, and the expediency in which we need what we need, we are having to, pretty much fund this ourselves. And so it's really cool to be executive producers in this endeavor, as well as, respective, roles. He's the executive director and I'm the dance director. And so it's thrilling. And to see students who are not necessarily dancers rise up and take command of the movement, and it's just really thrilling. And I just can't wait for the audience to see it, because it's just so exciting. And the students are excited about it, and that excitement, transfers. And I'm just thrilled.
I've certainly observed and witnessed and experienced students who have been under both of your tutelage, and you all do an absolutely remarkable job. They always come across as very seasoned performers, and you have to kind of remind yourself, these individuals are still matriculating here at Albany State University. So that's one piece. And then I love that you all made it a community effort. And so there it's a diverse group in terms of, students and staff and faculty, and then community representation, which is truly reflective of what the institution has always been. It has always been a welcoming space for people from all different walks of life, and then, sharing a common mission. And in this particular case is to entertain through a very riveting and very powerful story. As I said earlier,
indeed,
amazing characters. So I'm super excited. Tell the viewers what they can expect in terms of how long you will have us captivated, what days, the time, and how they can purchase tickets.
So the Color Purple tickets are on sale. They went on sale yesterday, and they are flying out of the door. So please make sure that you get those tickets. Yeah. We will have the Color Purple premiere at Albany State University April 14th and 15th at 7:30 p.m. and April 16th at 2:30 p.m. in the Billy C. Black Auditorium on the East Campus of Albany State University. And we are excited so you can hear some good singing, hear a beautiful story about love, and a woman finding herself and who she is and the power of who she is.
Oh, well said. Well said. Yeah. And well, I think many of Alice Walker's works are like that. Every time you reread it, you get something different from it. And of course, that may have something to do with where you are in your particular stage in life. Mm-hmm. But it is about an awakening and a discovery of self. And so, well, thank you for sharing, reminding us how rich that story is. But we're going to take a slight break, and we absolutely, I shouldn't say the most important piece, but one of the important pieces is when the production will take place. So when we come back, Mr. Wilson, please share with us those times and those dates. Viewers, we'll be right back.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Get it. Get it.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it.
Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
Mr. Wilson, you've got to repeat those dates and times again. I've got to get that on the calendar. And better yet, as soon as we wrap up this interview, I've got to jump online and get my ticket. Share with the viewers again those dates and the times.
Yes, a 3-day limited engagement at Albany State University. It will be April 14th and April 15th at 7:30 p.m. and that Sunday, April 16th at 2:30 p.m. in Billy C. Black Auditorium on Albany State University's East Campus.
Right. Okay. Now, which day? I go to bed early, so I'm like, do I want to go to bed or do I want to wait to the weekend matinees? But I'm going to definitely be there with in the front row with silent bells on. I'm so excited about this production. Before we wrap up, I know as artists that each work that you add to your body of work impacts you. Share briefly how this production, and I know it has yet to officially come to fruition, but your engagement and role in it thus far, how has it impacted you each as an artist? I'll begin with you, Mr. Wilson, and then Dr. Delancy, if you could share.
So I'll go ahead and start. As an artist, who is still working. I'm still pounding the pavement sometimes, taking gigs when I'm not teaching. I'm still pounding the pavement in TV, film, and theater in different areas. this means so much to me, especially being an alumnus of Albany State University. I never got the chance to perform a musical at Albany State. It wasn't until I got to graduate school and I was introduced to the world of musical theater. And I saw so many times the talent that we have right here in Southwest Georgia, and specifically on the campus of Albany State University, that has not been exposed to this community and to the world and to the world. And I see that day in and day out. And this particular production, where I can bring people from different majors, we have people who are theater majors, music education, health and human performance, biology, all different types of majors across campus, people who work in different areas on campus, people who have graduated and are giving back. It is beautiful to see all of these people come together for one cause. And it's in the name of the arts. And the arts is bringing all of these people from all these different backgrounds. And we all have this one goal, is to tell this beautiful story. And that's one of the main reasons why I have chosen theater as my career path, because I have seen the power that it can transform any situation by literally just bringing people together. And yeah, I just love it. And it has definitely changed me for the better. This specific production, just seeing the story of a woman who has been through so much, and finding like I said, the power in who she is, through Sophia, the character Sophia, through Suge, even the power to leave Mr., right? That power, and to turn him away, even through Harpo, and all these different types of characters that we have known and grown to love. This show has stayed with me for a while, and I know it's for a reason. And I'm so glad. I'm extremely grateful to produce this here.
Wow. Well said. Dr. Delancey, you have performed and as a dancer, and then also as a choreographer, all over the globe. And here you are at Albany State University, just making a huge difference, and showcasing your broad portfolio of talent. What is it about this particular production that has impacted you as an artist?
When I think about the body of work and the subject matter that we broach, as Ta'Varis was saying, we're following this woman and her personal evolution. And when I look at the students in the cast and then the student body, Celie suffered some trauma. And I think that it's quite telling and timely that we do this, because a lot of our students have also suffered trauma. And it's really great to see how this woman does come out from the other side. And I think that all of us know Celie's, we know Sophia's, we know Misters, we know we know these types and shadows of people. And it's really important to see somebody progress through. Each one of the students who's been performing has gone on a personal transformation. There's a vulnerability that's needed to do this kind of work. And there's an intellect or intelligence that you need also to do this work, because the material can be triggering. Mm-hmm. And so you have to be able to be honest about where you are as a person before you enter the work, and understand and be clear about how you separate yourself as a person who may have undergone trauma from the personage of your character, and then grow with that character as well. And the other thing I want to say is that I'm really pleased to be a part of this. Anytime we can do any kind of arts project, it's important, because we, the artists, and what we do, it serves as a natural bridge to the community. We do so much on this campus in all of these different areas, but we cannot overlook that when we were shut down during the pandemic, when the world stopped, it was the artists that kept up the morale, and it was the artists that kept the sanity and gave of themselves for free. They didn't monetize the things that they earned, but with blood, sweat, and tears, and lots of training. And a lot of times, particularly in educational institutions throughout the nation, that is forgotten. I mean, we're remembered when, somebody needs some entertainment for a luncheon. But, when we need support, where is that? Because what we provide to the city, any place that we are, is a quality of life. We reflect back the time period and we reflect back history that's continuing, because we know that there are still some Seeleys out there. We know that. Mm-hmm. We know that there are women who are undergoing, really, let's call it what it is, abuse. If we think about Sophia and her story about being unsafe in her own family, we know that that's something that endures. And we know also that our campus in Albany State sometimes is that place of refuge for students who are dealing with things like that, even today. So it's a lot of things in one when you deal with, of course, this material, but what we do. And it really is therapeutic. And it really does allow our students that immediate feedback. Do you have what it takes emotionally to do this work, this kind of work? Because it is, the drudgery is real. I mean, the schedule is real. And you have to understand, as a working artist, that it's not really about sacrifice. It's about the choice that you make, to go into this life, because it isn't easy. And a lot of people want it, but they don't want all of it. And so this is a learning experience for all of us, and for Ta'Varis and I, a learning experience for how we talk to this new student that we're encountering that has a lot of trauma and challenges. So we're growing even as, not only as artists in the field, but also really as therapists. How do we, in this educational environment, continue to educate, provide critiques in a real way that continues to prepare the students for what they're going to face out there. And so it's a lot of things involved in when you mount a production, and and with the many facets of it, it really just magnifies everything. And I'm just really pleased that it's going to be just fabulous, and everybody's coming through it, one way or another. We're coming through it, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Well, a couple of things that I want to say that, so a round of applause, continuous applause for both of you, because you naively, I don't know if I want to use the word naively, but oftentimes as a spectator, when something is done well, the takeaway or the assumption is that it is an easy process because of the lens. So you all don't project it or display it in a manner where it looks like it might be mayhem behind the scenes, or as you so eloquently said, Liz, that, blood, sweat, and tears went into the process, and what you all see is, the final fruition of whatever it is that particular endeavor. So that, coupled with the content, the subject matter itself, you're absolutely right. In my mind, I'm just celebrating the wonder of Alice Walker, and the cinematography of the film, and even her writing. You could visualize the beautiful backgrounds, but even in those scenes, horror was taking place. And so much of that. So when you mentioned the trauma and the triggering, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, that is a part of this story.
Yes.
So that's one piece. And then you, again, as you said, dealing with humans. And haven't we all gone through a trauma 2 years ago and still probably recovering, some of us still processing the reality of that? And thank you to you all as artists. You're absolutely right for getting us through that very difficult time and allowing us to escape. You also remind me, and I'm going to wrap up, that I stay in my lane. I know my gifts and my talent. So I write checks to the arts. I collect art. And I'm a visual spectator. So, yeah.
And we need that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Don't ask Wendy. Although I was in a play in high school, but since then, no, not so much. So yes, as our colleague was saying to us yesterday, she's like, I feel like I'm pledging, but I'm having the time of my life. And I was like, it couldn't be me because I go to bed early. And I said, what time did you guys finish up? She's like, well, one night we finished up at 10 o'clock. I'm like, rehearsing? Are you kidding? So yeah, I know my limitations, but I'm so honored to work with both of you all. So many. I have a very, very just my job excites me because I work with so many brilliant and talented individuals. You both are certainly among that number. I am just over the moon to see what this is going to look like. And sir, tell me those dates again. And then
yes, those dates again. Friday, April 14th.
Yes.
At Saturday, April 15th. Both of those shows are at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday, April 16th at 2:30 p.m.
Very good. He'll be saying that in his sleep, waking up in his sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for investing in our students, investing in our community, and bringing this very rich story to 2023 in this format. And what we do so well here at Albany State is enlighten and educate, and you are certainly going to do that through this platform. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you at one of those dates for sure. Try to make two, but I know one for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you
so much.
My pleasure. Viewers, thank you so much for joining me for this edition of Realizing Potential. Make sure you get your tickets as soon as possible for the musical adaptation of Alice Walker's The Color Purple. I'm Wendy Wilson, and I look forward to seeing you next time.